Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Dianna in the kitchen, and on today's episode we'll be making some ackee and saltfish. So for the ingredients, we have some saltfish right here, we have some ackees, we have tomato, escellion, onion, Scotch Bonnet Pepper, garlic, thyme, a carrot, and a half of a bell pepper. So the first thing we're going to do is to put some water to boil. And we're doing this to get it ready for the ackee. Now, while the water is boiling, we'll be preparing our vegetables. So now that we have our garlic and our scallion chopped up, what we're going to do is add this to the pot of water. Alright, so the water is basically at a boiling point right now. So what we're going to do is to rinse the excess salt from the saltfish. Alright, so the water is boiling nicely now, so we're going to add the ackees. Alright, so just be careful while doing this. Alright, so we're going to add the saltfish to this because we don't want to introduce any new form of salt into the dish. So we're just going to add the saltfish so it can absorb some of the flavor from that as well. And we're going to boil this until it's tender. So we're just going to place the saltfish on top like so. If you don't want to do it like this, what you can always do is to prepare the saltfish separately in a separate pan by removing the skin and boiling it maybe 2 or 3 times until the excess salt comes out. But this way, this is the way that I grew up doing it. This is the way that I've seen my grandmother doing it. And so it's something that's really a part of how my family prepares ackee and saltfish. Alright, so we have our vegetables ready. So the pot is boiling, and what we're going to do now is just to add the Scotch Bonnet Pepper, and we're also going to remove the thyme from the stem and put that in the pot as well. Alright, so everything is in right now and the pot is boiling nicely. So when you add the scallion, the Scotch Bonnet Pepper, and the thyme and the garlic to the ackee itself, it absorbs so much flavor in comparison to just boiling it in salt and water. So this way the ackee is flavored even prior to sauteing the vegetables. So this is another good alternative, and if you guys try it, let me know. Alright, so the ackee has been boiling for half an hour, and at this point now we're going to remove the saltfish and place it in some water so it can cool down. You have to ensure that this is completely cool before you can handle it properly. So we're just going to fish these out. Alright, and while we're doing that as well, we're going to test our ackee. We're going to test it to ensure that it's cooked, and all we do is just to take a piece. If it breaks off like this, you know it cooked. But another way to know is to just have a piece like this on a fork, and if it slides off pretty quickly like that, then you know that it's ready. So we're going to throw this off and get ready to saute all our vegetables and add the saltfish. So to do this, we're just going to slightly cover the pot like so and throw off the excess water. Alright, so now this looks like this after the water has been thrown off, and you can always just put those back in the pot. So we're going to set this aside, give the pot a quick rinse, and then we'll start sauteing everything. So what we're doing now is just removing the scales from the saltfish. You can always choose to buy the one that is already descaled and deboned, and we're just going to discard of this right now. This, give it another quick rinse. I don't want it too small, so just about this size. This size, thereabout. Alright, so now that we prepared the saltfish and the ackee is cooked, we're going to start combining everything together. So we have the pot heating up right now, and these are all the the ingredients that we'll need. Now that the pot has been heated, what we're going to do is to add about 3 or 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. Alright, so you can always use vegetable oil if that's your preference, but when it comes on to ackee and saltfish, I prefer to use coconut oil. So we're just going to let this heat up for about 30 seconds thereabout before we start adding our ingredients. And for this, you're going to need either a spoon or something like this, but please don't use a fork unless you want your ackee to look totally like scrambled eggs. Alright, so as you can see, the oil is hot, so we're going to add first our onions, our carrots, our tomato, and we're just going to saute this. So at this point, you can go ahead and add about a teaspoon thereabouts of all-purpose seasoning. Alright, so we're just going to let this saute until the onions become a little bit translucent and the carrots get a little bit softer. Alright, so this is after 2 minutes. So what we're going to do right now is add the saltfish as well as the bell peppers. What is so funny about this is actually a meal by itself. Alright, so just let the flavors marry for a bit. And at this point, I'm going to add about a ½ teaspoon of black pepper. Alright, so at this point, we're going to add our ackee. And we're going to gently fold in everything. Alright, so just continue mixing until everything is incorporated. Alright, so the only thing this needs right now is a little more black pepper on top. Alright, so we're just going to cover and let it cook for additional maybe 3 minutes, and then we turn off the flame and serve. There you have it, guys. Our ackee and saltfish is complete, and I'm serving this up with some boiled dumplings, but it is really versatile, so you can have it like this, just between some white auto bread or brown bread with a side of plantain, and that's breakfast. Ackee and saltfish is really versatile, and I would love to know if you guys try my method of making it, and if you do, please put it in the comment section. Alright, that's it for today's episode. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and of course, click on the post notification bell so you'll get verified every time I post a new video. Until then, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.